probably 10 different countries. India, Argentina, Denmark, Switzerland.
That kind of resilience is the stuff we need in this world. You walk into a store, people don't want to help you, people are lazy, people don't want to go to work, and this guy was paralyzed from the waist down from a bullet, and yet he's rolling around on a travel team for wheelchair rugby. Welcome to 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, and here we are with another crop of crazy people who have no idea what they're doing and are making bad decisions. Shocker. Although, I will say, in this crop, I got some sympathies. And there are some people in here, just off the first episode, I got some respect for. We got Rayne and Chidi, who are going to have an interesting relationship, culture-wise, and because she's a little odd, he's a Christian, she's going to try to bring him to her side of her alien thinking, but we will get to more of that. Then there's Loren and Faith, and all I can say is identity issues with that one. Then there's Tigerlilly and Adanon, who clearly she jumped out of a relationship that was possessive to jump into another relationship that is probably possessive. And Brian and Ingrid, which I feel for this guy, but he hasn't learned his lesson. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's get right into it. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and share. I appreciate all the support.
It had been probably 2 weeks until I said I love you, and then he started giggling and laughing, and then he said I love you back, and then it started as an everyday thing.
And that's not... So we start off with her, who she's on a farm, she's got all these chickens, she's got a couple kids, couple failed relationships, never been married. Clearly, she doesn't really know what she's looking for. And then, right now, 2 weeks in, she's saying I love you to this guy in Nigeria. Now, we will get to him, because we'll see about a little bit of his backstory, but just right off the rip, got some red flags going on here, and she definitely seems like she's a little off. That being said, you never know, but she did describe herself by saying it's not that she doesn't like to be around people, she's just quirky. Okay, nothing wrong with being quirky, but what does that mean exactly?
My name is Chidi. I am 33 years old. I live in Lagos, Nigeria, and I am blind.
Okay. Now that definitely makes things interesting, but right off the bat, this guy who's blind is out there playing soccer. Clearly, he's not letting what he's got going on keep him down. So I got respect for that. And he drew a rough card in life, that's for sure, for some of the things that happened. But right off the bat, he is making things happen, so good for him.
I wasn't born this way. It happened at the age of 17. When I had an accident.
That's tough enough, because it's not, you knew the world seeing it beforehand, just like if someone went deaf and they knew the world of hearing. That's got to be tough. Now, I don't know because I haven't been through that, but all I know is when you've known sight, having lost it has to be a tough circumstance.
Accident. My friend climbed a tree, and an apple fell and hit me on my right eye. The pain was excruciating. And when I got to school, I couldn't see clearly what was written on the blackboard.
Man.
It kept deteriorating. As a result of the...
Okay. So, apple hits him in the eye, and then his vision starts to deteriorate. And as a result of that, you think that's bad. You think it's like, man, this poor guy, okay? You're already feeling bad for him. You're like, damn, for real? It gets worse.
Impairment on the right eye. One evening, I fell and I hit the left eye on a wooden desk, and blood started rushing out. We went to the hospital, but there was nothing they could do. Eventually, I was completely blind in both eyes.
Man, so due to two just crazy things happening, one from an apple falling from a tree and hitting him in the face, and then one as a result of that falling and hitting the other side, his other eye, on like the corner of a desk, he's blind in both eyes. What if that doesn't make you feel grateful in life, and to see this guy who's being resilient in what he's doing and how things are, and out there playing sports and everything, I don't know what to show you to make you be thankful for what you have. That's insane. Like, it makes me feel grateful. And you know what? I got nothing but respect for this guy thus far. First episode, he could turn out to be not so great. I don't know. But just at the circumstance in life, damn, respect, my friend.
And he didn't say you're pretty, nothing. But then,
So she sent a couple pictures and they didn't say anything. She didn't know he was blind right off.
he's still talking to me really sweet, like nothing changed. So after another month or so, I sent a picture of my booty. And I still didn't get a response.
Okay, lady, you have two kids. You've never met this guy. He could be the nicest guy in the world, talking about, you're reserved in a way, but we'll get to that a little bit later. And you're sending him a picture of your booty, as you would say, because I'm not going to say, some crazier terms. Try to keep it a little PG-13-ish. But what the hell? Hell ain't that bad. You sent him a picture of your butt. And yet you got two kids and you don't even know this guy. What is wrong with you? This is what makes me think this lady is going to have some issues, and it's probably not going to be him. It's probably going to be more on her end.
Because you don't have to worry about looking at me. I can come out of the shower and he won't see me. Like, I'm going to be so free. So, yeah, that's the way I see it.
She's so happy about him being blind because she can be so free, but yet you send him a picture of your butt, and yet you're going to say you're super self-conscious. Lady, something ain't adding up with you. I mean, I get it. You can have self-conscious issues and do some crazy stuff, but damn, you just ain't selling what you're putting down. Like, something is not right with this one, and I don't have high hopes, and this is only the first one. Not high hopes there.
Cultural differences, the religious differences. He attends church regularly, doesn't he?
And when it comes to cultural differences, it's like, it doesn't really matter because, like, we...
What? Lady, you are going to move to Africa, or you're going to, I don't know if you're moving there yet, but you're going to go over to Africa, and cultural differences don't matter. You are going to get the shell shock of your life if you think that there's not going to be at least some sort of learning curve where you're going to have to adapt. Something, you messed up in your head, lady. Something wrong with you.
We have the same God. The difference is that I am not Christian and he is.
Oh, gosh.
I believe that there definitely is a God and a higher power.
But
I don't consider myself a Christian. Because I've seen a lot of the truth that's not mentioned in the Bible.
And what is that?
What do you mean?
There's a whole other world and galaxy out there. For example, I know for a fact that aliens exist.
So, she's not a Christian. She believes there's a higher power, but it's got to do with aliens or something. I mean, you can believe what you want, but at least accept that there's going to be some sort of learning curve with the religion too, if he's extremely religious, which he says he is. So this should be interesting.
Okay, but again, when I'm here to change somebody's life and fully wake them up, that's what I'm going to do. He could attend church, but eventually this man will be just as woke as I am.
Look how crazy she is and unhinged. Like, he can attend church, but eventually he's going to be just as woke. Basically, in this sense, meaning awake as she is, because she knows the truth of aliens and other, I mean, I don't know maybe, but at the same time, I'm like, you saying that you were so sure that you were going to get him to convince, so you're going to spin your relationship trying to convince him that being a Christian, going to church is not the way. That's what you're going to do? It's not going to have a happy ending. Who's going to tell her?
Says anything that comes to her head. She doesn't process words before leashing them out. And she's highly temperamental. She easily gets angry. Yes.
All right. So he already knows. And you saw it right there. She got a little loud with her. That was her mom and her mom's best friend saying, he can go to church, but he's going to come around to my way of thinking, basically. And yet here he goes. Yeah, basically saying he doesn't know if he's going to propose yet because she's got some anger issues and she just kind of says what's on her head and it's not always the most logical thing. So if you have these issues going in and yet couple that with the fact that he hasn't told her that they're going to be sleeping in separate rooms. Mind you, she's already temperamental and they're not going to have sex till they're married because he wants to stick to this Christian lifestyle. Yeah, this is just a recipe for disaster. And I give him like a week. I don't know how long she's supposed to be there for. If it's more than a week, she's going to be losing it within a couple days. It's not going to last long. And I don't think they're going to be on the actual 90 Days regular show. But We will see. Now, Tigerlilly and Adanon were introduced to them by this.
So we would have to place an order on it for you and deliver it.
She's buying a watch.
It's $26,500.
And
What do you think?
Perfect. I love it. Let's do it.
All right.
oh my God. So this is how we're introduced to Tigerlilly, is her buying a $26,000 watch. I'd say that money is not an issue for her, but how? How did we get here? Now, there is, like most, kind of a sad story, but the question is she going to, if everything she says is true, is she going into the same things with another relationship? And it makes you wonder of her decision making.
I wasn't allowed to have friends.
Talking about her first marriage.
I felt like marriage equaled prison for me. I stayed in the relationship for as long as I did because of the children. But eventually, I gathered the courage to take back control of my life. My divorce took 4 years, and it was a horrible process. But I now have my independence, and me and my children are well taken care of.
So you got basically spousal support or alimony and child support in the divorce. That's what you, because she leads up to saying, I've worked really hard to get here, but never says anything about a job or what she actually is doing. And then you talk about the divorce. Now, maybe her divorce, maybe her marriage was hell. I don't know. She didn't say a whole lot about it other than he was controlling and she felt like she was in prison. Okay, that's awful if that's the case. But what are you talking about when you're saying you worked really hard to get where you were? You went through the divorce? Okay. Then you would think that you would learn from some of the things you went through. And yet, here you are meeting some random person, and we'll get to see that he doesn't seem like he's exactly the you do what you want kind of type. So that should be interesting. Now, she claims that she's some sort of a handwriting analyst. Let's see.
And even what they're like in the bedroom. You're so cute.
So let's analyze it.
Okay, so your handwriting shows that you are very optimistic.
She's reading it off of her phone. Like, well, it shows that you're very optimistic. And oh, by the way, she claims that she can tell if you're a serial killer from your handwriting and how you are in the bedroom. Now, a producer goes on to ask her, did it show what he's like in the bedroom? And she said something about, well, he didn't put a cursive on the end, so you can't really read that. Top things that isn't true is her being a handwriting analyst. But I digress. That's just a fun little tidbit of why she's lying about that. I don't know. If she is, then she's just not selling it very well. If that's really a thing, she's not selling it well at all.
Be husband and wife, we want to be together forever and all the good stuff. So there's just no reason to wait.
Or maybe to make sure y'all are actually compatible. Now, what she's talking about is they plan on getting married the day she gets there. Now, she goes on to talk about a little bit about why that is in the fact that they can't be, because he's Muslim, they can't be husband and wife and sleep in the same room and, do other things unless they're married. So it seems like there's a little bit of an ulterior motive here, but, she's not making a good decision considering her whole first part of her identity is how she was in this relationship that was very controlling, didn't say anything about abusive, but very controlling, and she had to get out, but now you're rushing into something for someone that you don't even know. You talk to him over the internet. I'm sorry, this plays out the same way over and over and over again, and it will continue to. And this is going to be no different.
My ex-husband was super controlling, and I wasn't able to have friends and be social. So my service providers became my friends, my esthetician,
service providers,
my hairstylist, my life coach, my lash girl, and my injector.
Injector. Lady. You got to chill. You have a whole lash person and then your injector. And by the way, the injector looks like she needs to lay off the injections. So good gracious. Listen, if you were in a tough spot and you weren't allowed to have friends, that sucks. But damn, you shouldn't even have an injector. What the hell is wrong with you? You trying to make something happen, formulate yourself how you see yourself or something. Injections aren't for, you're just going to get injected in your face forever? I mean, that's why you see all these people who are getting, Botox and fillers and all that stuff. And it looks like you got Botox and fillers and all that kind of stuff. You don't need it. Lay off of the madness.
A low-cut top, and it was showing cleavage. So I'm already, changing my style. They're still being stylish, but changing it up a little.
Okay, so he is already asking you to... Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with a couple saying, hey, maybe you want to take a look at this, or someone saying something to their husband or their wife or whatever. There's nothing wrong with pointing something out. That's not controlling in and of itself. But you're going from that to what you were in, which was, like you said, a very controlling relationship, to the guy you have not met already saying, your top is a little low cut. Maybe you need to look at that. And let me tell you something, you're going over there and you're going to join the Muslim religion, which, I hate to break it to you, is a little bit controlling at times. So you might as well accept that now. And if you really wanted to get away from the controlling aspect, this may not be what you want to do.
I mean, it is interesting that you've gotten out of a very controlling relationship. That was one of the biggest things that was to turn off about your ex, right? And now you're flying across the world and you don't really know what you're getting yourself into.
The life coach coming with the knowledge, maybe the only person there that has a value. And yet you're not listening to any of them because you know best. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be there very long. I mean, you're getting... I just hope she gets there, and if she has those red flags, which they will be there, that she just automatically decides not to get married on the first day, because, yeah, I don't know how exactly it works with an international marriage, but all I know is once you're married, you're locked in. So then you got to deal with the divorce, or the annulment, or the pain that comes after that. So maybe just notice the red flags beforehand. Might be better. Now, Brian and Ingrid. Brian, so far, is probably my favorite person on the show. Now, first episode, it could flip very quickly, but he also has a story, just like Chidi in the first one, where had a tough draw in life, and yet he is resilient, he is rolling with it, and I got nothing but respect for that.
I'm approaching my 25th anniversary of being in a wheelchair. When I was 27, I was shot with a small caliber handgun. It hit me in the spinal cord. It left me a quadriplegic.
Man, and you're talking about, again, someone that was not born that way. Now, I know a lot of people who are paralyzed aren't born that way, and, there are a lot of blind people who are born that way. But either way, it's tough when you've known what it's like to walk and move around, and then in an instant, your life has changed. And yet, another example of someone being resilient and rolling through it and just being, happy to be here and making it work.
I started to look for ways to be active again. I was introduced to wheelchair rugby, and it turned everything around for me. I eventually made the USA team and started to play internationally for about 4 years. I've been to probably 10 different countries: India, Argentina, Denmark, Switzerland.
That kind of resilience is the stuff we need in this world. You walk into a store, people don't want to help you, people are lazy, people don't want to go to work, and this guy was paralyzed from the waist down from a bullet, and yet he's rolling around on a travel team for wheelchair rugby. That is the kind of stuff that is needed. That is the resilience that we need to blast off to the world. You gotta love it, and that is why I like this guy. I hope it works out for him. Problem is, I don't know if the other side is going to see it the same way. So it should be interesting to see if it plays out that way. Either way, you gotta love this guy. You gotta love how he just plugs through, gets it done, and is even saying, you know what, it made me who I am. So I'm thankful for the circumstance in that instance.
Wheelchair is different in a lot of ways. Some guys can get an erection without Viagra and keep. Some guys can and can't keep. I get the erection, it stays, Viagra helps. But if you associate pleasure with ejaculating, that's really not it for us. If we do ejaculate, we get a severe headache, spasms in our hands, sometimes can be even aneurysm caused.
Holy crap, are you saying that if you're a paraplegic and you climax, it can kill you? My God, my respect has gone through the roof for people who are paralyzed. That's all I know. Because, god dang. But you know what? He's got a positive outlook. That is all I'm going to say. Because, damn, you learn something new every day.
Falou de mim para seu pai, alguma coisa?
Não, não comentei de você pro meu pai.
Nada. Tu tem vergonha de mim? Por cadeira, alguma coisa?
Não,
Não, né?
She hasn't mentioned to her dad about him, and he asked, "Are you ashamed of me?" And she said, "No, I don't think so." Red flag. Look, this guy, I want it to work for this guy more than anyone, but damn, dude, don't make the trip over there when you hear statements like that, because it's not going to be a happy ending. It just isn't. So I really hope that he gets it quick and gets out. I mean, you know he's going to go there, obviously. But I hope he sees the red flags quick and get out before he gets digs in real deep. He's been married a few times, so this isn't the first time he's been through it. So let's hope he doesn't get in really far this time, because I want it to work for the guy, but damn, this ain't it, dude. This ain't it. Loren and Faith are an interesting one, to say the least, because Loren has some preferences and Faith is over in another country.
Or the weird kid, but I don't consider myself gay at all. I identify as gynosexual.
What?
It means that I find femininity attractive, not necessarily gender. Like next time I go...
Okay. All right, dude. What the hell are you talking about? You find femininity attractive, but not gender. But let's see what he says a little bit further.
But my preference is to date a trans woman, with or without a penis, preferably penis.
I don't know how to tell you this, my man, but you're gay. You want to date a trans woman, a guy, with or without a penis, preferably with. Dude, listen, it's cool if you're gay. I mean, that's cool. But I don't know how to tell you this. You're gay.
As long as it's female, right? It's a female penis, not a male penis.
No, it's not. It's a male penis, no matter how you twist it, my friend. I don't know how to tell you this. It's like, you can twist your words all you want. Don't change the fact that it's still a guy and you're gay. I mean, it's fine. I don't know why we're twisting these words and playing these word games.
Once you get 3 pots going, it gets super steamy, super hot.
This dude is literally trying to cook in the bathroom, getting things steamy, do a workout to try to prepare for the climate of the Philippines. Yeah, he ain't gonna last 3 days. I mean, this should be interesting to see how quickly this one fails. And oh, by the way, he still hasn't opened up for the fact that he's homeless. He wants his significant other probably wants to come to the United States, but his plan is to go over there and just stay, because he thinks he can live better if he gets a job over there than in the United States. Good luck with that. And yet you haven't told them any of this? It's not going to be a happy ending. It just isn't.
Necessarily exclusive right now. I don't think she's seeing anybody else, but I am.
Uh-huh.
I've been hinting at me sleeping with other people.
Good
Lord. I let her know that I stay over other people's houses, but I'm not sure that she understands.
So you're saying that because you're homeless and you stay at other people's houses, that your significant other is supposed to equate that with sex? Dude, you're just a whore. You're just a whore. Just accept it. Instead of, Faith should just understand what I'm doing, you're just saying, well, Faith probably gets it. Dude, you went through the whole thing of saying, people didn't understand me and didn't accept me and all this, and I just want someone that, gets me and I want what I want, but yet you want to sleep with everybody under the sun. This is why I don't have any sympathy for you, people who claim they want a significant other, but then they still want to have their cake and eat it too. Get out of here with that, man. And you're going to go to the Philippines and think you're going to find some job and live happily ever after out there. Good luck with that. Not going to end well. Needless to say, we're in a situation where all these couples are just... Do they ever get a couple on here where you're like, man, they're just going to make it work? No. There are some people on here who I kind of like. I like Chidi. I think he drew a rough card in life with his blindness, and I think he's making it work. I like Brian. I think he drew a rough card in life, but he's making it work and he's positive and resilient. So I like them. But they're not going to work out as relationships with these people they're with. It's just not going to have the happy ending, and that's the sad part. But we will see. Entertaining as it may be, we will see how it plays out. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and share. I appreciate the support, and I will see y'all next time.